Welcome back to Doing Learning, everybody.
Woo!
Woo! It's been a little bit. It's me, McKyler. It's still me. I'm back from my little break, and I'm here with Daniel.
Hi, I'm
We're
Daniel.
still friends. We didn't fight and just stop recording and disappear. We went and hung out with our families.
That is true.
And I'm excited to be back, Daniel.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
You got a big old list of topics?
I wouldn't say a big old list, but I think the ones that I do have, I've given them some love.
Okay.
So it's just like, it's stuff that for whatever reason, I've been interested in. And there's so many things that we talk about, learn about, or want to just teach the world that some of them get kind of left behind, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then you're like, why haven't I talked about this?
Yeah. Or I go back and I go, oh, yeah, that was a good idea.
Exactly. So it's more of the lines of those things.
Okay.
Things
cool.
that I've always knew that I wanted to talk about, but maybe just kind of got left behind, kind of forgotten in the back burner.
Yeah.
Per se, you know?
Yeah. It always feels like we got to move on to the next thing or like have these great ideas or things like this, but we have time.
Yeah.
We're not in a new rush.
Oh, no, not at all.
So hopefully we didn't lose everybody over our little winter holiday break there. But that's where Daniel and I were. So our apologies for just disappearing for a little bit on you guys. Yeah. But we're back tonight, and I got a little bit of something for you, Daniel. I'm gonna get some head shakes out of you, some confusion, and hopefully a few chuckles. But how was your break? Was it a good break?
It was a good break. For the most part, everything went fine, dandy, and stuff. Except for the last day and a half.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah. I got felt a little under the weather.
Oh yeah. You did get sick at the tail end.
Yeah, and then up until like even right now, I'm like, I feel great, like my body, but it's just every now and then I just get this rogue cough. So I'll try to mitigate that as much as possible and everything. And I'm sure, we'll edit that out. But if you guys hear that,
we'll try to catch it.
Yeah. It's just that I'm still getting over. I mean, I'm not sick. It's just like a lingering cough. So, but besides that, everything went great. I mean, like family's family, like you get your drama, but then you get your fun and you get to hang out with all the kids. And
that's the whole idea, right?
It's what family is, right?
Yeah.
And it was really fun I was blessed enough to be down there for 2.5 weeks.
Nice.
So
that's a nice long extended stay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, glad to be back home.
Some of them listen, right? So don't say anything.
I mean,
they know you.
They know me. They know who I am. They know I love them. But it's always nice to come back to your own home and
Oh yeah.
Sleep in your own bed.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So, how about yourself?
Good. It's actually my inspiration for this episode.
Okay.
So I'll kind of take you with me on where we went, and I could say this, maybe a good break, you kind of check out and kind of, you kind of live a different life for a little bit when you're on a long break and you change your routine.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate enough to where like we're able to take these long breaks on winter.
Yeah.
So as part of that, like I was kind of had this in the back of my mind the whole time, trying to think of cool topics we could do, kind of where my expectations were for the year. And it's like, okay, what topic am I going to do? I'm up next. What topic am I going to do? Like, I got to come up with and like, I had the hardest time. I'm like, I couldn't pick. I couldn't decide.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was like striking a chord. I didn't really feel a whole lot of passion. And so I started thinking, like, while we're there, I'm like, I should just talk about here. And where here was I sent you you saw some pictures, right? I sent you some. I went to Arizona, right at the border of Arizona and Utah. So there's only a couple of towns there. I'm not even going to call them cities because Page, Arizona is the biggest city quotes. Those are air quotes. And I don't even know what the population. Let's Google the population of Page here real quick. It's like
Traditional spelling?
it's like yeah, like in a book.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. It's got to be like 4,000 or 5,000 people. It's very small. The reason it's there is basically Lake Powell. It's right at the end of Lake Powell. I sent you pictures of a dam. That was the Glen Canyon Dam.
Okay.
It was not the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
So, but same design, same idea, kind of sort of thing. So it's very, very fun to see that after talking about the Hoover Dam.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's down in that area, in the desert, and I don't know how much time you've spent like out in the desert, where the nearest town is an hour away. Like, that's kind of like home for you. Like there's a couple towns kind of clustered.
Yeah.
But it never really feels like you're too far away from civilization, even on the western side.
Right.
You can find it. But like you get out in the desert and it just, at some point, it feels like you go to a different planet.
Mm.
And so this was kind of funny too, because we're almost a year through to our very first episode.
Yeah.
I think we recorded that in February of last year.
Yep.
So I'm kind of tying it back to that because it was about Moab, right?
Yeah.
So went to the desert again for Christmas. And so we're out in the Page area. Marble Canyon was the little town that we stayed in. There's basically there's a hotel.
Okay.
There's a gas station, and then there's a post office
that
is also tied to the hotel's laundromat service.
Okay.
That is only for the hotel. Like, it's not for the guests or whatever. So it's just like, that's it. And there's a couple of houses. There's like 4 houses.
But it's a legit town because they have a post office.
Yeah,
right?
That's the town. So that whole area out there, I mean, it's hard to live there today. And so a lot of what is so easy to think about. We went down there with family, right? We're hanging out with family. What we're thinking about is like the history of the area, because it's hard to get there today. Imagine when it was settled, like it was settled in like, a lot of Utah was settled in like the 1850s, kind of, from like westward expansion is really what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
Because natives have lived there for thousands of years.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that too. But it's like the history of the area, right? Like, how did people get way the heck out there back in the day?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I want to start my discussion, because there's this crazy story of just, just a nonsense story. Definitely a sad, traumatic one. So I apologize for that in advance. But the whole thing is just wild. So I felt like it was worth sharing, because you go that far out in the middle of nowhere, and then you look at the history of it, and it has a ton of history, like a really involved story, and like a ton of people like did stuff in like the mid 1800s. Okay. So what am I actually talking about here? I'm going to tell you about Lee's Ferry and who the heck Lee was. Lee is going to end up being he's kind of a confusing character in history. Because he's, for the most part, like, seems benign, but then there's this other story that kind of really, really turns him on his head.
Okay.
So it's this little town. It's not even a town. At this point, it's a national, oh my good night. What is the term for it? It's like a national recreational area. So it's not a national park, but if you have a national parks pass, you can get in. Like,
okay.
It requires a pass and stuff like that. It's not a state park. It's not a national park. It's a national recreational area.
But
so there you go.
But you need a national parks pass to get in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. So, I said town because originally, around 1850, that was the settlement, and wherever Marble Canyon was not really a thing for a very, very long time. So, Danny, do you know much about Utah state history?
I can't say I can't say that I do. I know there's some interesting people over there.
And it's the interesting people that I want to talk about. And I want to try really hard to not like paint this weird light. It's Mormons, right?
Yes.
The Mormons
Yes.
were a big part of settling Utah.
Yes.
Mormon history, I find, is quite fascinating. Like there's a lot of it in Utah, of course. So looking into it was very, very interesting to me. There is some wild stuff that just blows my mind. It's just like a history kind of thing. And like looking at Mormon history too, we were talking about it a little bit together, me and my family as well, of like, I don't know if you know very many Mormons.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in the Western Slope,
Sure.
there's a big
There's gonna be stuff.
chunk.
So, and I don't want to make this a religious thing, like it's just a thing or whatever like that.
Right.
So everything has its history. I was thinking about this today. If you set the bounds on whatever scope you want to look at for anything, you can pick out parts and bits of anything that make a group or people or whatever organization look really bad, right? It's time is long, people are people.
Yep.
You can pick and choose whatever you want.
For sure.
And there's a lot of that in Mormon history as well as a whole bunch of other history.
Yeah.
So, this going to be a lot of this stuff. So, Lee's Ferry was settled by Mormon pioneers, and the idea is actually Lee. I cannot even remember his first name. That's so bad. Whatever. Do your own research. I'm so sorry.
There's the first one of the year.
Oh my gosh, that's bad, huh? All right, whatever. It's like, I'm not even saying it's whatever. Lee is his last name. He's the guy. That's what I'm gonna call him. Anyway, Lee was basically directed. He was given orders, so to speak, by Brigham Young, the guy.
Oh, not the university.
Not the university.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one with the name. He was the guy, and then the school. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so there's like a guy, Brigham Young. It doesn't sound like he's so used to it being the university's name.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah.
like that could be a person's name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brigham. That was a person. So anyway, Brigham Young told Lee, and he could have picked anyone, whatever. He picked Lee to go settle this area.
Mm-hmm.
And why this area? Well, it was because if you look at like the geography of the area, that area is actually where the Grand Canyon starts.
Okay.
Even though you're like, I don't know, 100 miles away from where like where it gets real big. It's considered the start. So we were actually walking around. It's really interesting. There's like a trail. If you turn right, you're in the recreational area. And if you turn left, you're in the Grand Canyon. Like it's like a Four Corners kind of deal.
Oh,
where you're like standing on the boundary, like, hey, look I'm in the Grand Canyon. Even though you're an hour and a half away from the front gate.
Yeah.
So what makes that really interesting is nowadays Marble Canyon is like the put in spot for when you do your rafting trips through the Grand Canyon, because there's nowhere else to put in.
What do you mean by put in?
Like your rafts, like there's no other good river access points.
Oh, okay.
Like it's in a canyon the whole way. And if there is access, you have to hike down another river to get to it, basically.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult, except for in this one spot. So for hundreds of miles downstream, you basically can't get on the water or off the water. And then before there was a dam and before Lake Powell was there, the other way was the same too. So if you go upstream, it's very, very difficult. So this was like the only calm, easy access kind of place to get to the river, have that river access. And so that's what it was. It was Lee's Ferry. he operated a ferry service to just cross the river.
Oh, ferry,
So,
Ferry.
You're thinking like a Mormon ferry? No.
I was so
No,
confused.
no.
I was like, when does the...
That's a bonus episode. You can host that one. No, yeah, Lee's Ferry boat service thing across the water.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, when is...
I mean, it's kind of a mystical thing out there, sure. Some people go out there and see ferries, so
Yeah.
So anyway, is a strategic spot
Okay.
for moving people across the river. Is kind of really what it was. Which means it was pretty livable. So there was actually a junction where another river came in, and so that's the area that they settled. And it was pretty neat because a lot of the buildings are still there. Or like some of the rebuilt buildings that, you know, they built them and then something burned down and then they rebuilt them again. Like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of those artifacts there. And I wish we would have explored a little bit more. We did a lot. We went to the Grand Canyon, which is forever away. We went to Page and Antelope Canyon, which is the other way, forever away or whatever. So we spent a bit of time in this area. There's a lot more we could have explored, but I was looking at some videos and watching some stuff, and there's actually like one of the old like steam engines that they were using for either transporting stuff or moving stuff across the river. It's still there.
Oh,
It's just like a welded steel structure. It just looks like a bunch of, like backyard engineering.
But now
it's still there. Yeah, and you might not even know if you didn't know like what it was. There's one part that it's sitting in the river. It's the only thing left from, they made a big old paddle boat, a steamship that they thought would be a better idea of going up and down the river rather than just crossing it.
Okay.
And it turns out it burned way too much like coal and fuel. So they just let it sit and rot until it fell apart. And so now there's just like one metal piece left just sitting in the water.
Uh-huh.
And so you can see part of that old steamship there. So I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have looked into it first or figured that out, because I probably was not that far away from it.
Right.
I thought that would have been kind of neat to see. Not like mind blowing, like, wow, look at that crazy thing, but it's just the thought of it and the history behind it.
Right.
Pretty cool. What is still there though is you can see where they like farmed. They made they settled it, right? So they farmed it. There's still an orchard there, a working orchard. So if you're there at the right time of year, you can go and pick some fruit.
No.
Very Western Slope, right? Like you're kind of used to some of that.
Big vibes.
It's a lot of that same kind of that kind of climate, but it's a little bit more desert, right?
Yeah.
Less vegetation, except for like right in this one little area. It's like a little oasis. So Lee and his 18 wives settled the area.
There it is.
And over the course of, I don't know, his tenure in the area or something, he ended up having like 54 kids.
That seems low. Well, it seems low
for 18.
Yeah.
Was it 54 divided by 18 is, I mean,
less than two. About
a little over 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, whatever. And that's one of the weird like history bits, because I think that's where like that Mormonism really gets its knocks on that one, really the polygamy of it.
Yeah.
I didn't look too close into it. I believe it got outlawed within the Mormon church at some point. So that's like old school Mormonism, like when it's in the beginning, the beginning times. So yeah, so all the signs, were like him and pictures of like him and his wives and his kids or whatever settling the area or whatever, which I thought was very interesting. And that was a lot of the reason, like they went out there, get away from everybody else, do their thing. So it was kind of a nice little peaceful little village and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like this little thing. It's not a town anymore, right? Marble Canyon is kind of the town in the area, even though there's nothing there either. So we're like, okay, this is kind of neat. Like it felt like I don't know what it is about like Lee's Ferry. Like it felt like kind of a big historic epic name, kind of like understated but epic. Kind of
right.
Like, I don't know. So I'm like, what is this place? Who was this Lee guy? And so we started looking into him, and that's where the history part of it just went bonkers.
Okay.
And so Lee, it's not certain, but Lee is at best, the scapegoat, the Stucky for one of the worst instances of human behavior I've heard. He was basically well, here's the story. So he's kind of he's painted as a very bad dude in history.
Okay.
Although there is some speculation as to what actually happened. So we'll walk through it.
Okay.
So why Lee? Why pick Lee to go settle this area? Well, like it was more than that. It was almost 20 years. So he ended up spending like 6 years or 6 or 8 or 10 years at the Lee's Ferry location. But 20 years prior to his death, there was this event. So the Mormons came out and they kind of settled this area, and they went through their whole all their trials they had with the native peoples, because they fought tooth and nail because they live there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, we live here now. This is ours. So there's a ton of really interesting, like they call them like the Utah Wars or something like that. I didn't dig too deep into that, but it's basically like the Mormons versus the natives, like at war for decades.
Wow.
As they settled all of Utah.
Yeah.
And so as part of that, okay, they went and did all this stuff. And then as everybody else started coming, all right, we've talked a little bit about westward expansion.
Yep.
So these guys were here way earlier than a lot of other settlers, but they started coming down more and more and more and more. And it got to the point, right? So the natives are there, the Mormons move in, and everybody's mad at each other. And then they kind of settle a little bit. And then other people start moving in. And then so the Mormons get all mad. They're like, no, this is ours. And so in, what was it? Like 1872 or something like that. That gives you the rough idea.
Mm-hmm.
A big group of folks from Arkansas decided that they were going to move left. There was like 150 people in a wagon train making their way west. You know, I mean, oh my goodness. Every time I think about that, it blows my mind too.
Yeah.
Being in a wagon train.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it just seems so difficult.
It does. And I'm probably going to get a lot of heat and hate for this, but some part of me thinks it would be really fun.
It would be interesting to try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you only move a couple miles a day.
Yeah.
Right? Because the wagons are to move your stuff.
Right.
You're either walking or maybe you're riding a horse, but you're probably saving your horses for if you need to hunt or something.
Yeah.
But it does seem, it would be kind of interesting to try.
Yeah.
I just think about like how bumpy it was. You know what I mean?
Like it's one of those things
like plants in the way.
It's so miserable, but you just, unless you experience it, you just like unless you went through a hardship, I guess you don't understand that hardship, right? And so you kind of like, part of you still wants to experience it, even though you know it could be like Oregon Trail. Like, we all know the game, at least.
Oh yeah.
Like, we knew we were gonna die of something in the game, but you still wanted to play and try to beat it and get to your destination, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so part of me would think that I just want to try it to see, like, if I have the grit to
I could
it.
see you trying to, doing like like they do like Civil War reenactments and stuff like that. I could see you doing like an Oregon Trail reenactment. Except it's like a challenge or something like that. You got like a week to get to whatever, and you have to do like 2 river crossings, and like, I don't know, do all kinds of weird stuff or something. I could see you doing that.
They give you like the egg as your baby. Like you got to keep this alive.
Yeah.
Literally 2 steps in, it falls over and it cracks. No.
You would still finish though. I could see you just like, no, well,
there goes one.
There's one. We'll just keep going.
I got a baker's dozen in the back.
Oh man. Ugh. So anyway, there's all these folks from Arkansas living your dream, coming out west, and they get as far as about St. George, Utah, which I'm not sure if you know where that is. No, it's clue. Like the very southwest corner. So like right before you leave Utah and then you get to Las Vegas, the next big town is St. George.
Okay.
Anyway, it's over there. So they're around the St. George area. They post up, and the Mormons and the Native Americans in the area took some exception to that. And so the story goes that the Mormons and the natives teamed up and they attacked these guys, right? So they circled the wagons, and they like laid siege to these people for like 5 days in the middle of the desert. And this is where the story gets sad. But history is a very interesting thing. I think it's worth talking about still. Just because it's fascinating and crazy. So they're at a standoff. They have their wagons circled. They dig out underneath their wagons, so that way they have a place to hide from gunfire, as they can lay there and return gunfire as they can, do whatever they can to protect themselves. But they're out in the desert, Daniel, with supplies that dwindle.
Yeah.
So at some point, somebody got to go get water, right? So the natives and the Mormons would wait until they had to go get water, and then they'd shoot at that guy. And so they would just, I mean, that's what life was like for, you can imagine in like the summer heat, or even most of the year heat, except for like 2 months. It gets hot there. Like when we were there, it was like 65 degrees or something like that. Like it was nice. But in the heat of that desert with no water, I mean, think about that. That's awful, right? So the way that this ended up working is they kind of stalemated. Like they were dug in, right? And they weren't going to do like a full assault or anything like that. So after some point, they have to like surrender, and because they're out of supplies, they're out of water, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So the story goes that Lee went in to talk with them and convince them to lay down their arms. So they're like, okay, cool. Like the siege is over. Just lay down your arms, whatever. We'll move on from here.
Right.
So they're like, okay, cool, deal. Let's all be cool, whatever. So this is what they rounded up all the guns, right? They disarmed them. They took everything. They rounded up all the people, and they actually segregated them. So into like, not sure exactly where they drew the line, but like women and children, they segregated, and then they made, they put the young men in a group and made them march for a while. But they made all these people surrender. Then they gathered them all up and massacred them all. Women, children, everybody. They killed everyone.
Holy.
Yeah. So they went in, convinced these people to lay down their arms, and then once they were disarmed, they just boop.
Wow.
They just took them all out. There were a few survivors, but at that point they were kidnapped, right? And whatever. That story goes places I don't know where. Right. But it's really awful. This place, there's actually so they basically just killed all these people and left them. And they're like, cool, we took care of business, and they bounced. Well, some people had to go in later, like years later, to basically clean up the bones. And so they went into there's basically 2 areas where they made the young men march off to one area, and then everybody else, where they basically just took all the bones and piled them up and like buried them in just like one big grave. So the monument that's there now, it's all like cemented over, and it's just like a kind of like a stack of rocks. It's all like an actual location or whatever. So it's like a visitor center and has all this stuff, historical landmarkers, all these things or whatever. But it has like a wall of all the people's names that were there and their ages. And so it's very much like the war memorials and stuff that you see in DC. It's like that, just out in the middle of the desert.
That's
where
crazy.
they massacred all these people. So that's what makes this weird. And so that precedes all of Lee's Ferry. Well, why did Lee go down there? A lot of it, they say, is because Brigham Young was trying to diffuse a lot of suspicions and this and that. So this is basically where not for sure exactly how it all went down, but this is where Lee gets all the blame, and they shove him off into a different corner of Utah to basically go hide out for as long as he can, until the law catches up with him, and then they rounded him up, deemed him guilty of committing this, and he being like the mastermind behind it. And then he was executed by firing squad in the same place up near St. George. So, but there's a lot of speculation as to, was he the mastermind? Was he told to? Was it his orders that he was following, or whatever? Because some of like his last words were really, like he seemed like he really, he might have been maybe not innocent, but like he wasn't the mastermind. So it's just a really like, it started off as this really like, oh, there's an orchard and stuff like that. And they cross the water here and people are riding horses and having a good time. We're like, who is this guy? And we're like, oh my goodness. That is a dense story. And I mean, that's just one story. Like, I just think of westward expansion, settling. Mormons are not Mormons. I mean, the whole frontier is just we ever talked to other like Pony Express, some of those stories. Just an absolute crazy place and a crazy time. And it just almost doesn't feel real to me. Like it's a different, that's a different United States.
Oh, for sure. Like I think whenever we watch movies or like anything, it's like, for us, it's like crazy. Like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like that would never happen. And then it's like, oh dude, history is so much crazier than what we actually perceive in movies.
Yes.
It's like, maybe it scratches the surface of what it was, but not, it doesn't capture the full picture of what life, like daily life was. Right?
Oh yeah. How hardcore it really was.
Yeah.
Like we got it kind of easy. I mean, we're sitting here making a podcast, right? Like I don't have to worry about water, like that kind of stuff, man. It blows me away. So when you go out to these places, and I mean, I get poked fun of because I go and I read the placard and I read the signs. One of my favorite things to do. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just a way to get a small glimpse into a different life that I'm thankful that I don't have to live. And I don't know. I think it's just a cool thing. And I think you should be aware of things like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of know like that kind of history of like how the heck we got here.
Right.
Like all of that kind of stuff. So sorry for that, a little bit of a downer thing. I just thought it was such an interesting, weird story.
Yeah. No.
So then I got to thinking, and some of the other things that we saw while we were out there, right? We're goofing around. Is talk about how did we get here? How did the Mormons get here? Oh, we already talked about Utah was, I mean, and Colorado, right? Don't get me wrong, was settled by natives thousands of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say upwards of like 14,000 years ago, there were people here.
I was but a wee lad.
You Daniel had just got training wheels. You haven't got them off yet, though.
Not yet.
Still working on it.
Takes a half a millennia.
That's right. So, what's one of the biggest little evidences of ancient peoples that you're familiar with, Daniel?
What do you mean? Like that? Like,
what have you seen? Like, have you gosh, this was not meant to be a mystery.
Yeah, what are you poking at here?
I was gonna see if you're gonna say something weird or crazy. Petroglyphs.
Yes.
Like cave paintings and painting on rocks and stuff like that. Have you seen them in the real life?
In what is it? The Cocopelli? Is that what it's called? Coco.
Yeah. I don't know what I only know the store right outside of Junction mostly for Cocopelli.
What?
You're in the canyon.
Yeah, those are in the canyon, are they not?
Well, I don't know. It's like a gas station.
What?
I'm not. The only thing that Cocopelli is like a gift shop.
Yeah, but it's also
a thing. I know.
It's the thing with the like that thing, right?
Yeah, it's that thing.
Yeah, but it's part of like.
Is that like an actual carving somewhere or painting somewhere?
It's Cocopelli petroglyphs, dude.
Where at?
Here in Colorado.
I should go look at those in real life. I haven't seen the real ones.
Yeah, they're pretty. And Moab.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. Which isn't that far away from like the Junction area.
Right.
That's where I've seen most of the petroglyphs that I've seen. But we stopped near. We were in the middle of nowhere, Utah, Bluff.
That's where this is at, bro.
No, I was there and I missed the Cocopelli one.
Yeah, it's in
Maybe
Bluff.
I just didn't look close enough. Dang it. Well, that makes me look silly. Oh well, that's fine. Petroglyphs to me, they're so weird because like they don't hardly seem real. But like when we were taught them in school, I think I've mentioned this kind of stuff before, like Colorado history and like the ancient people's history and stuff like that. Like petroglyphs, I found so boring. You know what I mean? Like,
what's the difference between petroglyphs and hieroglyphs?
Egypt? I have no idea, actually.
I mean,
that's a good question. We could have figured out the answer, right?
To me, it seems more of the same, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know. Google it. Google it. Ask the machine.
Hey, petroglyphs are images carved into rock representing art or symbols, while hieroglyphs are a form of writing system.
Oh, so it's like an alphabet.
Yeah.
More or less.
But I feel like hieroglyphs are still pictures telling a story.
Could be. It might be hieroglyphs or petroglyphs, but petroglyphs are not necessarily hieroglyphs. I don't know. That's close enough for me, I think.
Yeah.
That's a good question, though. But to that point, I finally, like, we had looked at them again, and I actually gave them some honest thought and attention. And I'm like, these are kind of weird. They're kind of cool. Like, what the heck is going on here? Like, why? Why were they made?
Right.
Right. And in this case, like you said, you just looked it up. They're more like picture representations of things to tell a story. They're not writing because they didn't have an alphabet. But it's a way to maybe convey information.
Right.
And at this point is when it's archaeology, because these things are thousands of years old, right?
Yes.
So the only things that we would know about them are from like native tribes that are still out in the area, of what's passed down from tradition. And it's just an oral history, right? Other than the petroglyphs, is basically the only quote unquote like writing or anything that that was not an orally passed down tradition.
If I'm not mistaken, only like the elders could interpret the petroglyphs because of the, like you said, the verbal telling of it. So like, and it would make sense, right? The elders or the people that drew it lived it, so then they told it to like these kids, and then these kids grew up listening to it. So now they're the old elders telling everybody else, hey, this is what I was told, and blah blah blah. So it goes on. So
yeah, exactly. And so that is how it's passed down. And like you said, like the priests, the shamans or whatever, they're the elders, they would be the most important. And so that's kind of how the status would get passed down and things like that. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about petroglyphs with you, is and to kind of, you know, take this episode out on kind of a goofy note.
Okay.
Because we kind of can't know what the petroglyphs mean.
Right.
You can make some really, really informed guesses.
Right.
But unless you can talk to the artist, you're kind of, it's like telephone. I mean, I don't know. You're only ever gonna get so close without some kind of other confirmation. And that's especially how our archaeology works. Like you have to have things that corroborate, and like the things are even hard to tell how old they are, because dating them is really hard. Like you have to do really specific methods, but these methods have flaws, and also you can't damage the thing too.
Right.
So a lot of the ways that they can tell how old something was, you know, if there's like some cave and it's got a painting on it, but then they have like some kind of pottery, then they can date the pottery and be like, yeah, this probably was at the same time. Like those types of things. So it's really, really difficult.
So if we go steal some ancient pottery, go to a random cave, and then we draw stuff.
Exactly. Well, the thing is like that happens. So there's some really interesting ones that I found that I wanted to kind of chat about. And then I want to get crazier as we go a little bit too. So, do we want to start kind of serious and then go crazy? No. No. We might even skip the serious parts of it. I will say this. There is a lot of research that has gone into these things, and we do understand some of the symbology to some point. So, some of these pieces of art look really crazy. One of the ones that I saw, it's actually not a United States one. It was in France, I believe, is that there is a cave where...
Oh, we're going back to caves.
We're going to caves in France. I can't remember whatever they called it, but it's a cave painting of just hands. Like if you put your hand down and then paint it around it. Kind of like
Brother Bear.
Like yeah.
Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
No, I can't remember actually.
Where all when they become like a man, like the village man, they imprint their hand on the cave wall to represent that they've stepped into the next era of their life or something like that.
So is it like if you put paint on your hand and then hand on the wall?
No.
Or the opposite?
It's like, it's almost as if your hand was in front of a fire and it's creating like a shadow. The shadow is...
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. So there's a whole cave where it's just like a wall of hands. And it's really kind of almost disturbing looking. Yeah. It looks very strange. And one of the weird parts about it is that it's not just hands. There's like different parts of fingers that are like not present. And so like there'll be like a finger gone, whatever. I'm holding my ring finger down. And I'm trying to remember everything that was really, really quite strange about it. What made it really strange is, so like, okay, why would the fingers be missing or things like that? And so there's like discussions of, I don't know, why you might ritually have a finger removed or some kind of crazy thing like that. But then they actually like took data on the painting itself and took all the patterns of fingers. And if you were to just like do like whatever combinations, there's only, because you have I can't remember how exactly they did the math. Oh, there's 5 fingers. Every finger has 2 states,
Mm-hmm.
either out or not out
Mm-hmm.
or in, right? So then you do 2 choices to the 5th power. So there's 32 combinations of how you can have your fingers out. Whatever, right?
Okay.
So you have your thumb out, you can have your pinky out, you can whatever, have just your index down, that kind of thing.
Right.
There's 32 options, only like 11 appear.
Okay.
So they're with like different amount of frequencies. So they're like, it might be some kind of messaging system because of the way that, some of the ways that they appear. It's just like, I don't know, very quite strange.
Mm-hmm.
Another one in France, and what got me thinking about it is there's a really, man, I need to find the image of it. Maybe you've seen it.
What are you trying to look up? Maybe I can help.
It's like a sequence of really detailed horse paintings, but it's like it's painted in such a way that it's like looks like multiple horse heads, but it looks like movement, like if a stop motion film kind of
On a cave?
Yeah. This was a picture. It's got some horses. It's got a bear in the background. Like the details are really quite good
Right.
in this case. And one of the things that we don't see like a ton of is highly detailed faces or people. Except for there's one cave in France that has like 100 faces. And it's such a weird thing that stands out that people thought it was fake for a long time.
Is this something I can look up right now?
Probably. It's also in France. So France face cave painting.
It keeps popping up this one face for me. Ancient face discovered in France's Beneficial Cave. This 15,000 BC human face carving is one of the world's oldest portraits, a powerful testament to the early human art and expression. But that's not the one you're talking about.
I didn't think so. Maybe it's part of it. I can't find the dang thing. Whatever. I should move on. The point is, we don't see like really detailed faces anywhere, but we do see other detailed things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird. Like, why? Right? Why? And I guess as far as we can tell, because they're talented people. They're talented artists. Like if they could draw the other things, they could draw faces.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, faces are difficult, but they could do it. But really the only thing that we can kind of think of is that it was a different way of thinking, and that, because these things were almost, religiously driven, like you said, the religious leaders are the ones that would pass these down and interpret them, that they thought maybe it was like an abomination to paint people, in that way, like it's sacrilegious to do so. But it's kind of a mystery that, as far as I could tell, still stands out.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just weird.
I know, like, I'm just gonna generalize because I don't know what specific group or people.
Yeah.
But I know that like taking pictures is like of them is they don't want to because they feel like it captures part of your soul or whatever kind of thing. Maybe the same thinking went in like because a lot of these people were spiritual, like, oh, we killed this animal for food, we're gonna pay his respects and as a spirit and draw it up here, kind of thing. Whereas people, it's kind of more like a what's can't think of the word. I don't know, bad juju to kind of do that, for lack of a term right now. Coming into my head.
So I think that's about all we can kind of figure from that point of view.
Right.
So I want to step into a couple more strange ones, Daniel.
Okay.
And I just want you I'm gonna hand this picture to you, and I just kind of want you to maybe describe what you're looking at here.
Oh, yeah. So,
You know this one?
yeah, I do know this one. You know, in I believe it's A New Hope, when they're in the bar where Han Solo comes and meets Greedo. This is the robot that's in there.
Show me. You gotta pull up a picture.
Watch.
So oh my gosh. So I just showed Daniel. This is one from. It's called Sago Canyon. This one's super popular. It's huge. This is like 9 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
It's enormous. It's a huge humanoid like figure with like a upside down pear shaped head with huge, just empty eyes and like appendages that look
Can I say it again?
like antennas. And it kind of looks like it's holding a snake or something. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. It's like a weird version of C-3PO with bug eyes.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. But even like the rest of these, like look at the rest of what's painted with it.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It looks very sinister.
It's sinister, or Daniel, is it aliens?
Aliens.
Yes, it's aliens.
Everything points back to aliens.
Everything points back to aliens. And I think it's kind of really fun of just how ridiculous petroglyphs and ancient aliens go well together.
Yeah.
Let me find, there's a couple more that are really quite weird.
Ooh. Yeah, I put alien petroglyphs, and the first one that comes up is that one that you showed me, dude.
There you go.
Those things are weird.
So look at this one. This one is called the Ghost Petroglyph.
Oh.
And the whole scene is quite weird.
Oh.
Because it actually looks like there's some 3D-ness to it. And almost all petroglyphs do not have this, especially like the ones in the United States. Like it looks like there's a quorum of cloaked people standing around this ghostly figure with, again, the big, like almost bug eyes that are completely empty. And the one in the middle is absolutely huge. And it's like the only one, they said, where you can see like the side of its head. There's kind of like this weird spot on the side that it's not looking straight at you. It's like looking at an angle.
I see what you mean.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not. But this is another one that gets all kinds of weird attention. And let me see if I can find one more. Oh my good night, if I could type.
This one's pretty cool.
Which one did you find?
This one?
Yeah, just like horned people.
Yeah, and it almost looks like a big crowd of them. Like this is
pretty fun because the more that you look, it's not just like little stick people or like goats or whatever. They get kind of unsettling.
And you know what? I think I think we can dive, I don't know, into this. Like even historians, way smarter people than us in this this realm, right? Of history. But at the end of the day, they could totally be wrong. And it could have just been some angst teenager that just wanted to be expressive and was
graffiti.
Like, yeah, exactly.
But Daniel, where did they get the inspiration? Because look at this one. I'm showing Daniel another one. We'll post all these. Daniel, what's that one wearing on his head?
Antennae. Oh no, is that a helmet?
Is he in a spacesuit? Daniel.
He's an astronaut.
So I found this really, Ancient Aliens was on History Channel for a while. I don't know if it still is. I could not help myself. I had to go find the Ancient Aliens episode on Petroglyphs. That pulled up all these and is like, these are all evidence of they called it the ancient astronaut theory.
Okay.
Which, I don't know if you're familiar with that. So you've heard of like the Nazca lines?
I don't know
if you Google that, you would know it. It's like the enormous, these ones are in South America. They're enormous like line drawings.
Oh, yes.
Of people or birds or like different things.
They're freaking awesome.
And they're huge.
Yeah.
They're huge. And they're so big. Like if you're on the ground, you can tell that they're there, but you can't really see them.
Right.
Why were these people making things that you can only see if you're flying over them? Aliens. Right? So the theory goes, right, that back in the day, aliens came or visitors from another planet came and taught native peoples how to do things or gave them technology or whatever, right? So that's why you see these weird carvings of alien-like creatures that are coming here and holding meetings and telling people things and flying over. And that's either like, I don't know, they're saying things like they were markers for like, hey, land here, or gas 2 miles, whatever. Those types of things, because people wouldn't make things that you couldn't see from the ground for themselves, right? They were making them for the aliens. That's the conspiracy theory that it's really fun. It's really dumb, in my opinion. Just because it's a fun conspiracy, just because it's mostly harmless. I was kind of looking into it. I think at best it's dismissive of ancient peoples, and maybe at worst it's to a degree like racist to say that these people couldn't handle it. Like they didn't have technology to figure out how to hunt or make an arrowhead or whatever. Like that's what these people say in these stories. Or figure out farming or whatever, things like that, that they needed somebody from a different planet to come here and teach them because they're too stupid. Like that's kind of implicit in the theory. So that's what I'm saying. At worst, it could be racist. At best, it's at least dismissive. And like, it's like, we could go out and carve a dumb thing. Like, I don't know. Like I don't know. It's possible. Like it's totally fine.
Yeah.
And a lot of these, the symbology of these petroglyphs are actually kind of mostly explained. And the biggest thing is that, and this goes in many ways, and maybe it's my my advice, my grain of salt, keep your eye out for this, is people see what they want to see. And sometimes you just can't convince them otherwise. Yeah. And so, when somebody sees a petroglyph with a guy in a spacesuit, he's going to see an alien, right? Like that. It's an astronaut, 100%. But these paintings, these carvings were done thousands of years ago for a completely different audience. Yeah. And we don't have like any of the information to explain them. Yeah. So you're going to see what you're going to see. But most of the features, like the big bug eyes or the antenna, like things like that, or things around their head, basically just represented the connection to nature or sky around them, or things. Most of these are like depictions of the shamans or the priests that we're talking about, who were able to, and why they had the big eyes was a symbolic thing that was like this shaman was able to see into the spirit world, and could see that connection and make that connection and speak on behalf of the people to the spirits, that kind of thing. Like that kind of activity and verbiage was pretty prevalent in here. And so it's like, this is what made me kind of laugh about it. I mean, maybe it is what it is. If it's true, right? That some of these are just depictions of like dudes on drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's like how they would connect with the spirit world, is get all hopped up on some stuff that they found in the desert. And so that's like them showing them in an altered state where they're connected with the spirit world.
Yeah.
So there you go, right? Like, that makes way more sense than an astronaut. Like, people in the desert doing drugs makes more sense than an astronaut teaching us how to use corn. You know?
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear came down, this alien form.
Like, let me show you corn. Like, and thus wheat. Like, I don't know. but I think it's fun to look at these paintings and just like wonder, because they're so weird, and the more that you look, the weirder it gets. I mentioned this one, Sago Canyon. I was just looking at it again. There's this one is like, it's like 8 miles of petroglyphs or something like that. They call it the world's largest art gallery because it's seriously miles and miles of petroglyphs. It's pretty crazy. So I would like to make it out there sometime. I've actually, it's like, instead of going south to go to Moab off the highway, you go north.
Okay.
It's like right there. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not even far.
Yeah.
So I'll probably make my way out there sometime. I think it'd be cool to go see some of these in real life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I think they're pretty incredible. Some are more incredible than others, but
yeah, like you can definitely go to Fat Man's Misery and see some petroglyphs, modern petroglyphs, but petroglyphs. And then
what is do I even ask what is it? What did you tell me?
Fat Man's Misery. It's right outside of.
Sounds like a bar.
It's right outside of Delta. Like, I used to go all the time, just kind of hike out there to get down to the canyon.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it sounds like a treadmill, but it's like a
It's
okay.
like it's like very, very like you have to go
it's
through
like a
this.
socket. No, that looks cool.
And then it's once you get through it, then you're just kind of at the base of a canyon.
Oh, cool.
But then there's obviously some people that like graffitied.
Yes, and we saw some out there too, and it's just like, don't do that.
Yeah.
You are so uncool if you do that. Like, I don't know. Go do something else. Get out of here.
Yeah,
get out of here with your nonsense. Those old people carving stuff thousands of years ago, and you got to write 1962 on it. Like, I'm like,
well, how else is it supposed to get old, dude?
Well,
do you think the people back then? Don't you think they got a little? Don't graffiti. This is nature.
You're drawing ghosts on the wall again. The aliens are getting mad. It's like, quit drawing goats on the wall. Jeez. There's always a date though. It's like, why do you need to write the date? Like, I don't understand that one.
So people in the future won't wonder how old
so
it
they
is.
can just read a number.
Yes. It's like they made it hard enough, but we're being better for the future.
Isn't that amazing that someone graffitied this in 1962? It's like, no, it's not.
So would you have preferred if I graffitiing and put like 1701?
I would, just because there would be some conspiracy people that are just like, oh my goodness. This wasn't settled by the Spanish. Someone was here earlier. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, it's settled again. Yeah. Resettled again and again and conquered.
Rediscovered.
Jeez, that's wow. Wow. You could lead like a marketing team. Rediscovered. Gosh. Yeah, the Mormons rediscovered Utah. Then the Arkansas tried to rediscover it, but Mormons didn't let them. Oh, jeez. Rediscovery. Wow, that's sanitized. Oh gosh. Oh well, Daniel. I mean, that's kind of all I really had for you was just to talk about the desert a little bit. And there's all kinds of wacky stuff out there. And to be honest, maybe I'll say like this. I have never felt more like I was about to see an alien than when I've spent time in the desert. Like just walking around at night in the desert, you're like, there's a good chance that an alien is just kind of like just walk out of the darkness or like, just like beam down.
Yeah, show me the light. Know. Just
I don't
right
know.
Here. I'll accept it.
It honestly sounds like a crazy thing to say, but like whenever we're way out there and like I was walking around like Hanksville one time. I had to go do laundry, but to get to the laundry place, I had to walk across like a big empty lot kind of sort of thing. And just, it was the weirdest place to be, like alone at like midnight or 1 a.m. with just like not a hint of life around you. And then just like a cat shows up. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, where did you come from? Like, there's nothing I can see around. Like, there's like a light or whatever. I'm like, you whatever. I'm like, that's an alien cat right there. That's gotta be. It's gotta be an alien cat, right? So
alien
I think I met an alien.
Lizard people. I mean, like you got two extremes.
They're out there. They're out there, man. So, we'll do I've been dying to do like a whole episode on just conspiracies. So we'll cook one up where let's do that for a bonus episode.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'll promise that I'll do some research. The next bonus episode I do, we will talk about the lizard people the lizard people are in two places that I know of. I shouldn't talk so confidently. 2 places that I know of: DIA and under Antarctica. So we'll talk about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a bonus episode.
I'll do a. Are you? Oh my gosh, who's who in the scenario? Scolder and what's it? From the X-Files.
I don't
know.
The reference is gonna be lost on me. You tried so hard and it just wouldn't have worked anyway.
Anyways,
I'll be Scolder if you want me to.
I'll do that research from the I'll just binge watch the X-Files on the lizard people episodes and.
Okay, you tell me if I'm wrong, if I missed any. Yeah, but those are the 2 that I know of. So we'll talk about lizard people, DIA, Antarctica,
and the
X-Files. So.
If you guys are wanting to get on that train, feel free to join us in our Patreon at patreon.com/doing learning.
That's the one, baby.
Where we're going to have episodes like that and much, much more this upcoming year.
Absolutely. So, I promise you that one. I will do that one. We'll record it next week. We'll record it next week.
You know, that sounds great. I will get to binge watching ASAP
get to possible. It. Yeah, you don't have enough hobbies, Daniel. You need one more. Exactly. One more hobby.
There's always one extra hour in the day, right?
For a while. You seem to find them. So I applaud you for that, Daniel.
I appreciate that.
But Daniel said it. Go check out Patreon, patreon.com/doinglearning. And thank you all for your support. Thanks you for hanging with us through a long winter hiatus. That was really nice for us. Thank you for being patient with us, and thank you for coming back. And we'll see you on the next week. We'll see if I can remember the slogan. Remember, we had fun tonight, but make sure you go out there, do your own research, and stay curious.
Hey everybody, we just like to take a moment to thank everybody out there that has thus far supported us. We do all these recordings and we love doing it. We have fun doing it, but we are paying out of our own pocket, but it does help when people like Liz D, Seth T, Irvin H, DaDog, Miles T, and Kirk K help us make this little podcast a reality and, lighten the load a little bit. So thank you from both of us and all of the fans. Thank you for helping us make this a reality. And if you guys want to help be part of the Doing Learning crew, you can do so by going to www.patreon.com/Doing Learning. I don't know why I said www.